various videos online or papers that exist on PubMed around happiness and synthetic happiness in particular, you would come away with the impression that synthetic happiness is just something that we're supposed to snap our fingers and access, or perhaps do very specific things and access. But while that is true, context really matters. And I think that's an important point, much in the same way that the point needs to be made that while money doesn't buy happiness, money can go for stress and certainly offer opportunities that can provide opportunities for more happiness. I think we are starting to arrive at a general theme here, which is that nothing related to our mood exists in isolation. And in fact, that leads me to a discussion of one of the major scientific findings in the realm of what sorts of mindsets and behaviors can in fact lead to happiness. And this is a paper that was published in 2008, even though that might seem like a while ago. It forms the basis for a large amount of literature that followed. It's a very interesting literature. This is work from Elizabeth Dunn and colleagues, and was published in the journal Science, which again is one of the sort of three apex journals, Nature Science. So I would say it's sort of the Super Bowl NBA championships and Stanley Cup of scientific publishing. Very, very stringent in terms of the number of papers they put in, review that is. And the title of this paper makes fairly obvious what the paper is about. The title of the paper is Spending Money on Others Promotes Happiness. And I know a number of you probably hear that title and think, oh boy, here we go. He's going to tell us that giving away all our money is going to make us happier than receiving money. And I promise you that is not what I'm going to tell you. But nonetheless, this is a very interesting study, and it's one that I think that we really ought to pay attention to. Because what the study is based on is the fact that income, provided one's income meets a certain level of basic needs, indeed has been shown to have only a weak effect on overall happiness. Okay, so quoting from the paper in the first paragraph, income has a reliable but surprisingly weak effect on happiness within nations. Within nations, which means they looked at this in not just the United States, but other places as well. Particularly once basic needs are met. Okay, so if that's the case, then what aspects of money and having money are related to happiness? Certainly there are people who have a lot of money who are very happy. Certainly there are people who have very little money who are very happy. And of course the reverse is also true. There are plenty of people who don't have very much money who are unhappy. And in fact there are people who have a lot of money who are very unhappy. The point that whenever it's made often leads those with less money to kind of roll their eyes, because the assumption is more money does increase happiness. In fact it doesn't. And later we'll get back to this idea of whether or how one acquired their money has any impact on whether or not that money increases their happiness or not. Okay, let's kind of earmark that for later. In the meantime, let's talk a little bit more about the findings in this paper. This paper is interesting because what it did is it explored something called pro-social spending. Pro-social spending is a phenomenon where people are taking a certain portion of their income and they are giving it to others, often for causes or for things that they think are important to see happen in the world or change. That could be a hungry individual having access to food, medical care. It could be for good causes. It could be for getting wellness. It could be giving somebody money so that they to give, or giving somebody money and not having any, understanding or expectation of what they're going to do with the money. Okay? And one of the central themes around gratitude is that, well, receiving is great. Giving is also great in terms of increasing sense of well-being. And one of the more important features to that is when we give, either in the form of words or in the form of resources, knowledge that the person receiving benefits from that in some real way greatly increases the chance that there's an increase in happiness for the giver as well as the receiver. Again, that's a note about gratitude, but not an insignificant one as it relates to this study. So what the study found was that higher pro-social spending was associated with significantly greater happiness. This was a very statistically significant effect. And they found that the effects of income and pro-social spending were independent and similar in magnitude. Okay, independent and similar in magnitude. I'll explain what that means for those of you that might be confused by that statement in just a moment. Whereas, quote, personal spending remained unrelated to happiness. So what this study basically found was if people are allotted a certain amount of money to give away and one adjusts for overall income, right? And this is important because you can imagine that for some individual giving away $2,000 might represent a significant portion of their yearly or monthly income, and for another individual it might represent a tiny fraction of their income. But when you adjust for income level, what you find is that people who gave away money benefited tremendously in terms of their own increase in happiness. In fact, quote, employees who devoted more of their bonuses to pro-social spending, that is giving away more money, experienced greater happiness after receiving the bonus, and the manner in which they spent that bonus was a more important predictor of their happiness than the size of the bonus itself. So it's an actual experiment they ran with real income, real money. I'm going to read that again just to make sure it hits home, because I found this to be really impactful. Employees who devoted a greater fraction of their bonus to pro-social spending, that is giving away money to others, experienced greater happiness after receiving the bonus, and the manner in which they spent that bonus was a more important predictor of their happiness than the size of the bonus itself. So the actual bonus, the receiving of the money, led to greater increases in happiness than they gave it away. And the act of giving it away itself led to greater increases in happiness than receiving the bonus. So it's a twofer, as you might say. So the takeaway from this study, and studies like it, I think it's pretty obvious that to the extent that we can, and again, when I say to the extent that we can, this means whatever percentage of our own income that we can afford to give away, or if we don't have income, the percentage of our effort, right? This was about money, but it's also about effort. We can help others, right? You can serve in food kitchens, you can do community gardening, you can pick up trash, you can do any number of things. You can assist a neighbor with childcare, or assist a neighbor who is physically less able to retrieve the paper, etc., etc. The point is that giving resources, certainly in the form of money, but also in the form of effort and time, is immensely beneficial for synthesizing our own happiness. That is for the giver, us, to increase our sense of happiness. But the degree of an increase in our own happiness is proportional in some way to the extent to which the person receiving actually needed that help and registers that. Excellent research also points to the fact that another potent way to synthesize happiness, that is to create genuine states of happiness in ourselves, is to leverage the so-called focus system, or rather I should say, to de-emphasize the tendency of our minds to wander. There's an excellent paper on this, also published in the journal Science. This is now a classic paper. I talked a little bit about it in the episode on meditation, but for those of you that did or perhaps didn't hear that episode, I just want to briefly touch on a few aspects of the paper. And in particular, a few aspects of the paper that I didn't talk about previously. And the title of this paper, again, is very straightforward in terms of telling you what it's about. And that is A Wandering Mind is an Unhappy Mind by Killingsworth and Gilbert. This paper was published in Science in 2010, and we will provide a link to the paper. This is frankly a very interesting paper. This paper involved several thousand subjects, or I should say 2,250 adult subjects. And what they were able to do was to contact these subjects while they were going about living their daily lives and ask them both what they were doing and what they were feeling. There's some additional questions that they asked them, but they were able to establish whether or not people were watching television or doing housework or working on a home computer or resting or listening to music, etc., in their natural environment. So this is outside the laboratory. And they were able to assess to what extent those people were happy or unhappy or neutral or had some other emotional state at the time when they were engaging in any number of different activities. And they assessed whether or not those individuals were also focused on or focused away from whatever activity they were engaging in. And the takeaways from this study are many, but for the sake of today's discussion, I think is especially interesting, is that regardless of whether or not people were engaging in activities that they enjoyed or not, the tendency for their mind to wander from an activity predicted lower levels of happiness than if they tended to be focused on the activity they were engaged in. Now, that itself should be surprising. And what that says is that even if somebody was engaged in activity like cleaning their house or doing homework or reading something that they weren't enjoying, if they were focused on what they were doing, they tended to report as happier than if their mind was drifting elsewhere. This also points to the idea that perhaps our minds drift to unpleasant thoughts more than pleasant thoughts, but they also address that in the study. What I like to make here is, quote, although people's minds were more likely to wander to pleasant topics than to unpleasant topics, and there the difference is pretty significant. People's minds tended to wander to pleasant topics about 43% of the time as opposed to unpleasant topics about 27% of the time, or to neutral topics in the remaining 31% of the samples. People were no happier when thinking about pleasant topics than about their current activity. Think about that. People were no happier than when thinking about pleasant things than their current activity. In fact, the mere focus on what they were doing was more powerful than anything else, even if they didn't enjoy what they were doing. So go on here to say, quote, although negative moods are known to cause mind wandering, analysis strongly suggested that mind wandering was generally the cause, and not merely the consequence of unhappiness. And so there are a lot of aspects of the study that are worth going into, but the major takeaway, or the one that perhaps we should all be most concerned with, is that when we are not focused on what we are doing, we tend to be far less happy than when we are focused on what we are doing, even if what we're doing is something that we don't deem very pleasant. And certainly if we are engaged in something that we consider very pleasant and we are very focused on, well, then our levels of happiness are the highest. That's sort of obvious. But what this really speaks to is the tremendous power of building our ability to focus on what we're doing and to stay present to what we are doing. Now, this whole notion of staying present is one that itself is a little bit complicated. And in the episode on meditation, I talked a little bit about whether or not it's beneficial to be present to our internal state, or that is our interoceptive state, our feelings of our heart rate and how full or empty our gut feels, or our state of being from our skin inward, or whether or not we should focus on being present to things in our immediate surroundings. Both are versions of being, quote unquote, present, as you can imagine. But in the one case, we're focused internally, in the other, we're focused externally. And of course, most of the time, it's some combination of the two. But what this study really says is that any practice that can powerfully impact our ability to remain present in the activity we are engaged in, it could be a phone call, could be texting for that matter, could be social media for that matter, right? We're not placing judgment on the activity here. In fact, what we're really talking about is the enormous happiness, increasing value of being present to what we're doing, regardless of what we are doing. And the practice that's known to be beneficial for increasing our ability to focus is, among other things, a short meditation practice. In fact, work from Wendy Suzuki's lab at NYU, and when he's been a guest on this podcast, her laboratory has shown that even a very brief meditation of about 13 minutes, and this would be the quote-unquote classic type of meditation of eyes closed, focusing on one's breathing, even a very brief meditation of just 13 minutes or so, done consistently, so ideally every day, but you have to imagine that even if you skip a day, there are still benefits. That sort of meditation can greatly enhance one's ability to focus, and in her studies, it's also shown that sort of brief meditation can also greatly enhance mood and sleep and various aspects of cognitive performance. And work from my laboratory, in collaboration with Dr. Dan Spiegel at Stanford Department of Psychiatry, has shown that even briefer meditations of even just 5 minutes per day can have fairly outsized positive effects on a number of different parameters as well. Those very brief types of meditations, because they really are focusing, and more accurately, I should say, refocusing exercises, when you do that sort of activity, closing your eyes and forcing yourself to focus and refocus on your breath and internal state, that is directing your perception inward, or if you choose, you can deliberately focus your perception on some external object or sound, for that matter. When one does that, the circuits of the brain involved in focus dramatically improve. That is, they rewire and increase their ability for you to achieve focus. Many of us have heard about meditation. Many of us think about meditation as a mindfulness exercise, mindfulness in quotes, because that itself needs definition. But I prefer to view meditations of the sort that I just described as perceptual or focus-based training, which is really what the data point to. Notions around consciousness and states of mind are very hard to define, but it's very clear that even a 5-minute a day, or ideally up to 13-minute a day meditation, can greatly increase our ability to focus. And based on the findings in this paper, Wandering Mind is an Unhappy Mind, also make it very clear that the ability to refocus again and again and again on what we're doing throughout our day, regardless of what we're doing, can have a very dramatic, in fact, a statistically significant increase in our levels of overall happiness. So what else does the research tell us we can do to increase our levels of genuine happiness? Well, it's very clear based on the longitudinal study from Harvard, as well as the Yale Happiness Project and the work of numerous laboratories in the US and elsewhere, that quality social connection is extremely powerful in terms of its ability to increase our levels of happiness. What is quality social connection? Quality social connection falls into a number of different bins. This can be romantic connection, this can be friendship, this can even be coworker or just daily superficial interaction type connections. That's surprising to a lot of people, because I think a lot of people hear quality social connection and they think deep conversation. But it's very clear from the research that oftentimes our conversations with people that we are closest to are actually quite shallow. If you think about it, if you've been in a romantic relationship or a friendship for a long period of time, maybe a sibling relationship or a family relationship, much of what you talk about is fairly superficial or fairly trivial. In fact, it's often a sharing of the trivial day-to-day things between two people or through groups of people that leads to the feeling that people are really connected to one another, in particular if it's involving shared experiences of any kind, good or bad. So there's an extensive literature on social connection and how to build social connection. This certainly should be the topic of a full episode of this podcast in the not-too-distant future, but because social connection can have such a powerful impact on our states of happiness and overall well-being, I want to emphasize a few features of social connection that I think most people might not appreciate. Once again, when we hear quality social connection, I think most of us tend to think about deep, meaningful conversation, or long walks on the beach, or camping trips together, or travel together, and while all of those certainly qualify as wonderful opportunities for social connection, opportunities for quality social connection are certainly not limited to those kinds of interactions. In fact, I can recall times in my graduate career, so this would be times when I was living in the laboratory, that was a significant portion of my graduate years, and one of the more important social connections for me was the staff that worked there in the wee hours of the night that came in very early in the morning. So one of the more regular social connections I had is I would brush my teeth in the hallway bathroom, and no one else really around at that time except for the janitors that tended to leave early in the morning. They worked a portion of the night, or they were arriving very early in the day. And the fact that I would see them on a regular basis, maybe exchange a few words about the work and the families and the holidays, actually for me became very meaningful, in part because my social connections at the time were really limited to only social connections that I had in the context of work. Now, some people might look at my schedule at that time and look at my life at that time and say that was very unhealthy. You were lacking in a certain number of ways. But frankly, looking back, and at the time, and I know this because I journaled at the time, I was exceedingly happy, at least for that stage of my life. At that stage of my life, I wanted to be focused primarily on doing experiments and immersing myself in my scientific training. And for me, the even seemingly insignificant interactions of talking to the janitor in the morning or some of the other regular staff was not insignificant. In fact, for me, it was very significant. And over the holidays, when their hours were reduced, I actually missed them quite a lot. And even as I talk about this, I can recall the feelings of well-being of just seeing familiar faces. And that brings up an important point, which is there's a quite extensive literature pointing to the fact that when we see faces, especially faces in the morning and in the late afternoon, there is a positive impact on the emotional circuitry, or I should say the circuitry of the brain that underlies emotional well-being. And that shouldn't come as surprising. We as old world primates, much like other primates, are very dependent on faces and facial expressions in terms of registering our own place in life and our emotional state. Now, the origins of this are many. In particular, we have a brain area. It's actually called the fusiform face gyrus. This is an area of the brain that was largely discovered by a woman by Nancy at MIT. And the Huberman Lab has done extensive work showing that this brain area that's dedicated to the processing of faces, and not just faces in real life, but faces on computer screens and elsewhere, are intimately tied to areas of the brain that are associated with emotionality. That's actually work from another laboratory, Dorsal's laboratory, Caltech, now UC Berkeley, has shown that this face processing area in the brain in both non-human primates and primates is directly linked to the areas of our brain that associate with anxiety and fear, but also areas of the brain that are associated with well-being. So it comes as no surprise that when we see faces, particularly friendly faces, even if we have just brief interactions with those faces, and even if no words are exchanged, that creates a sense of social bond, and it creates a sense of predictability. And I raise this again because I think a lot of people think that social connection always has to come in the form of close friendships, which of course are wonderful, or close romantic relationships, which of course are wonderful, or close family relationships, which of course are wonderful. But as we'll soon discuss in our model of happiness, or how to achieve happiness based on the scientific literature in a few minutes, social connection can and should come in various forms. And when I say various forms, I mean forms of brief interaction, more superficial interaction, and forms of deeper interaction. All of those are relevant to our states of happiness, and there's research to support that daily interactions with somebody at a cafe, or just a brief hello or a smile, provided that we are both present, or we make the effort to be present to those interactions, however brief they are, can have a positive effect on people's overall well-being, and not just in that moment, but consistently. Evidenced by the fact, I think, when I look back on those years of working long hours in the laboratory and essentially restricting myself either to exercising, sleeping, eating, or working. Again, that's what I wanted at that stage of my life. Certainly not the way I live my life now, but that's what I wanted at that stage of my life. That even those seemingly insignificant social interactions were important to me and had a potent impact on increasing my level of happiness, and frankly still do, and I feel that right now. That said, I think all of us can appreciate the immense value of social connection that is of the more long-lasting and, for lack of a better word, richer type, whether or not that is with siblings or with parents or with friends or with romantic partners. For that reason, I wanted to emphasize a little bit about what constitutes connection and what constitutes social connection. There are basically two forms of social connection that have been studied, and I'll review both as it relates to increasing our levels of happiness. And the first one is presence and eye contact, and the second is physical contact. So in terms of presence and eye contact, there's been a lot of studies about whether or not people exchange direct eye contact during conversation or not, dictating whether or not each individual in that interaction feels as if they had a connection. Now, again, keep in mind that while we think of connection as relating to some deep or meaningful conversation, and oftentimes that can be the case, for instance, an excellent therapist-patient relationship, or an excellent romantic relationship, or an excellent friendship, where you really feel heard and understood, or at least to the extent that people are willing to explore certain topics with you, you're willing to hear them and listen really carefully for what they're saying, and they're willing to hear and listen to what you're saying and attempt to understand. That certainly can enhance the sense of social connection, leading to what people call social bonds, leading to increased happiness. But eye contact is also known to be an important feature. The thing about eye contact is that most people assume that a lot of eye contact, and in fact ongoing eye contact, is critical to a sense of connection. In fact, that's not the case. There's a recent paper that I find really interesting that was published in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences in 2021. The title of this paper is Eye Contact Marks the Rise and Fall of Shared Attention in Conversation. I find this paper interesting for a number of reasons. First of all, my laboratory works on internal states and visions, or relates directly to the work that my laboratory does, but also that it violates what I thought was a general rule of social connection, which is this idea that two people need to be focused on one another, that is, looking at one another directly and fairly consistently throughout a conversation in order for the feeling of connection to emerge. But it turns out that's not the case. And in fact, just to give you the takeaway, and then I'll flesh it out a little bit with some data, eye contact, or I should say mutual eye contact, so two people registering the presence of the other person, looking at them, you're looking at me and I'm looking at you. If you're watching this on YouTube, and perhaps we are actually doing this at that moment. If you're listening, just know that I'm looking directly into the camera as I'm saying this at this moment. If we were to be looking directly at one another, that, it turns out, signals the next step, which is that it's very likely that we will each both look away. And that turns out to be a way in which we set and reset attention continually during conversation. So again, I really like this study because of the high fidelity, the high temporal precision, that is, the precision over time in which they looked at eye contact and engagement of attention between individuals. And they did this by looking at things like people's eyes and, of course, where the eyes were looking and so on and so forth. The basic takeaway of the study was the following. Here I'm quoting from the study. Quote, rather than maximizing shared attention, good conversation may require shifts in and out of shared states accompanied by eye contact. So what this basically says is that when two people are involved in a very, let's call it an intimate conversation, but the word intimate should not be misconstrued to mean something about intimacy or sexual intimacy or physical intimacy, just a conversation in which both people feel present to the conversation and focused on that conversation and its contents only. The tendency is for people to take turns talking, although sometimes, depending on the individuals, they might interrupt more or less. Again, interrupting can be a sign of interest. It doesn't always have to be rude, by the way. But they're sharing information, hopefully about a common topic or set of topics. They will, at some moment, look at one another, so the study shows, and then after briefly gazing directly at one another, attention peaks, and then they will look away, and attention will get reduced, and then the conversation consists of a series of focusing back on one another with their eyes, and then focusing off, focusing on, and focusing off, and those mutual eye contact moments actually predict the breaking of attention. So it's this ramping of attention and breaking of attention, ramping of attention and breaking of attention. I think these are important results because they violate this stereotype or assumption that deep social connection of the sort leading to happiness always involves ongoing eye contact or ongoing focus. Just as with meditation, just as with any activity, frankly, we undergo shifts in attention and focus. That is, focus ramps up, and then it breaks, and then it re-engages. It ramps up, it breaks, and then it re-engages. And that, it turns out, is the basis of in-depth, connected conversation. So for those of you that are interested in creating social connection in any context, and in particular for the sake of increasing happiness, because it's very clear that social connections, even if they're fairly superficial social connections, can increase our sense of happiness. Seeing faces is important. Ideally faces in person, although I suppose these days over Zoom or over other screen-type medium would be a close second. But the point is that if you want to increase happiness, you need to have quality social connections. And if you want to have quality social connections, you need to be present and engage in those social connections. And that requires a viewing of each other's faces, ideally,